I don't think that you need an introduction, but Justin Sylvester, just like the most unbelievable person ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Shut up.
And just like movie star, TV star.
So
Stop
many,
it.
so many
Freaking, like-
jobs. You have many jobs.
No.
Yeah, but not many paychecks. Like, I'm at the point where I have so many jobs, but not a lot of paychecks.
That's
What
unfortunate.
are we going to do about that? Do you want to call out your reps?
No, right?
Let's do it. What are you at CAA? You're somewhere.
No, I'm at
fancy.
UTA.
Me
And I'm
too.
obsessed.
Me
I
too.
love them. They're so great. And, you know, there's this thing in Hollywood when you're trying to make it, everyone says, just say yes. Just do it. Put yourself out there. Someone else is going to see you, you know, from these jobs. And I'm at the point in my life, 37, I'm not doing free shit anymore.
No. You're too famous for that.
I'm done.
You're too famous.
No, I'm not famous. That's
You
also, it's a
are.
blessing and a curse. That's a blessing and a curse, okay? I'm not famous, which means I still have my privacy, but I'm not famous enough to get free shit.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Get in the DMs, please.
I know.
We'll teach you the
Thank
ways.
you.
I mean, the 1-2 punch of a softer Peck DM, it's over.
At a minimum, I can guarantee that after this podcast, you will be sponsored by Nordstrom Rack.
Oh, my, thank you so
Because I have a
much.
Nordstrom Rack story, and they're just going to come flocking, and they're
What-
going to say, I need to sponsor Justin, even though I don't know if they sell Versace. at
No, but
Nordstrom
you know
Rack.
what they do sell is these pants because I got them at Nordstrom Rack.
Really?
Yes.
Fantastic. You know where I got this?
Where at?
Nordstrom Rack.
Okay.
You know where I got these?
Nordstrom Rack.
Nordstrom Rack. Do you
Hold
know
on,
why?
hold on.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because Claudia and I, Justin and I were just in Mexico.
Yes.
Just so everybody has context. And Claudia and I brought matching away suitcases. She went to New York. I went to LA. She went with my bag. I went with her bag. So I have so many panties and I have no clothing. So I ran off the fucking plane when I landed trying to get to this mall that Josh recommended. And I was going to close, and I looked to my right like it was a gift from God, and there was Nordstrom freaking Rack. And I ran into Nordstrom Rack, tore up the place. Vince, Paige.
But wait, stop telling people about it. Stop telling people about
we're
it because
telling them
it's
about
my
it 'cause they're
no,
gonna pay us,
no,
Justin. See,
no.
You don't need to gatekeep Nordstrom
I
Rack.
do, especially on a Wednesday because that's when they stock it here.
Yes.
So if you go at like 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, they stock it on Wednesday mornings. Nordstrom Rack is my biggest secret in LA. And I want to post it, but I'm scared I'm just going to I'm going to fuck it up for myself because you get such great stuff there. And by the way, it's the stuff you see at stores.
It's fantastic stuff, and now they will be stocking you. You will be getting a paycheck.
I better.
Because we do nothing for free on this show. Nordstrom Rack, if you
better.
want us to air this, send us a check. Otherwise, we're cutting it.
Yeah.
But the
That's
truth is with Nordstrom Rack, here's the thing. It is what you see in the store, but it's just in a color no one bought. There's
Yes.
no blacks, whites, or grays. It's like, oh, I guess burgundy could be good. on me. I like
do
a
this
salmon.
persimmon.
Just
I
random
can totally do
oranges.
this persimmon. Yes, and this 11 might fit like an 11 and a half on the right foot, but I don't care. I love it. Half my stuff from Edu's comes from Nordstrom Rack.
And I feel like at like regular Nordstrom's, this part of the shirt is still the waffle. You know?
Sure, yeah,
right?
sure.
Like this strip is a Nordstrom Rack
So basically,
strip.
you're saying it's one of a kind.
It's one of a kind, like all of us.
Yes.
Right?
One of a kind.
So tell us about this fancy weekend you guys just spent together in Mexico.
Oh,
well, we
Are
signed
you
an
allowed?
NDA.
I
We
was
signed
just
an NDA before we came.
I defer
Never
to
mind.
you.
We transition.
It was bougie.
It was bougie. By the way, I'm only flying for bouge.
You were on an NDA vacation.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Wow, those are the best vacations. That's like Epstein level.
It's
Yeah.
the best
It was
vacations.
on Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
We were-
Yeah.
It was By the way, we're on we're adjacent to what's that guy who used to own Girls Gone Wild who can't come here anymore? Joe Francis. Punta Mita is Joe Francisville.
Yes.
Because that's where he can't leave.
I'm just saying, everybody's complaining about being on that list. Like, you got to be really famous to be on the list.
It's crazy.
Like, put me on the list. That means I've made it.
Right? I have made it. I cannot believe, first of all, I can't even talk about you, but you right here in front of me, speaking of made it, I was in the movie, sitting next to this dude. I'm on a date. And, everyone was like, Oppenheimer's like 3 hours. So, I had a Celsius at 8 p.m., which is, which is basically, you ramped up on Fen.
Was it an early date to Oppenheimer? Like, had you guys just started? Interesting date night.
No, it was an interesting date night.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in Oppenheimer, coming out of my clothes because I had a Celsius to stay awake for this 3-hour movie. And lo and behold, you pop up on the screen and I squeal like a bitch. I'm like, ah! And this guy's like, what happened? I'm like, oh, I know that guy. He's like, you work in entertainment news. You know all those guys.
That's
I'm
true.
like, yeah, but I know this guy. It's different. I know this guy.
Thank you.
And the movie was phenomenal, was amazing. I watched it twice, and I was, congratulations. 'Cause
Thank you.
You won a Golden Globe.
I guess technically I'm Golden Globe winning adjacent, and I love that Justin's seen it twice. Ben, how many times have you seen it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's
Here's the problem.
My co-host.
it's the shit.
My brother.
Yeah. Don't pay him this week.
My platonic love mate.
How
Every
have
time
you
I
not
tried
seen
to
it?
see it in movies, it was sold out. New York theaters were crazy. And then it just, now the only movies I watch are on planes. I watched Basketball Diaries recently. It came out in 1997. Like I watched Barbie and I literally wanted to fucking take needles and put them in my ass. That fucking movie was such hot garbage.
No.
And I'm just saying, that's my take. And if Oppenheimer needs to be on the fucking, on Delta, I would have seen it already. I'm going to watch it. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Okay, but here's the problem.
God damn it.
Yes.
I take it back. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
No.
Oh, wait. I'm coming over for dinner tomorrow night. Can we watch it?
With me?
Yeah, me. We're gonna sit there. Me, you, your two beautiful sons, and your wife. We're gonna
How many
watch The
times have you seen
Whackness.
it?
I've seen it 3 times.
We're gonna watch Oppenheimer, and we're gonna watch The Whackness. You want to come over?
No.
Watch it all?
Yeah.
No.
I don't even want to come over to my house.
How old are your kids?
They are 1 and 5.
Not doing it. I'm not coming over till those kids can shake a martini.
Really?
Yes.
You're not a big kids person.
You know what? I am a kids person. I do love kids. But
can shake a martini.
I'm not coming to your house for you to be like, oh yeah, that's just a 1-year-old made a mess here. No. Like I told you, I'm only coming over to the booze.
Wow. You know what? I can respect when people are like, I'm good without kids. Like I have friends who were great friends of mine in my life. And once I had kids, they were like, deuces, this was fun. And I'm like, really? You're not in my life anymore? They're like, oh no. And it's just clear.
No, they come back. You know, I was a nanny for years. They come back. I was a nanny for years. I respect kids. I respect people with kids. However, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
Good.
Kid germs are some of the hardest germs you have ever touched in your life. I can go to Coachella for 3 days, make out with 6 random men in a Yuma tent, and come back cool. The minute your 1-year-old sticks his finger from his mouth to mine, I am fucked.
We've
I am taken down.
We've spoken about those exact germs way too many times on this show.
It's true.
We've made the exact same call about kids' germs being so freaking strong, got so much hate, so you won't get hate.
No.
We already got the hate for
We already
it.
got hate.
But by the way, why are we getting hate for something that's true?
No, it's crazy.
Kids' germs are crazy.
But I'm gonna up you on that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
up you on that. Why does every 2-year-old sound like they smoke Newports, and the minute they cough, they turn your direction to look you in the eye?
Yeah.
So you know that they cough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I think,
deep.
I
It's
think
deep.
I think
Teach your kids how to cough.
you guys are very insensitive, and I will say that my son right now has something called Fifth disease, which sounds like it's from fucking Lord of the Rings.
It probably
It's
is.
called slap cheek syndrome, and it's just some random thing.
Wait. This is different from hand mouth.
Very, very different.
The same person who named foot cheek, hand, foot, mouth. What
Hand,
the
foot, mouth.
What kind of
Hand, foot,
name
mouth.
is that?
Hand, foot,
By the way,
mouth.
and hand, foot, mouth actually sounds very innocent, and it's just massive boils that just like surround the
Terrible.
child's face.
Terrible.
It is it is wild.
It's like monkeypox.
I'm telling you right now. When I was a nanny, I had this woman call me in the middle of the night, frantic. She was like, "I need you to get here ASAP. I don't know what to do." And I opened that door, and she was like, "I'm not going in there." And I was like, "This child better look like Linda Blair in the motherfucking Exorcist, because for you to act like, does she have cholera? Like, what is going on?" I walk in there and I'm like, "Oh, she does have cholera. this is cholera." Hand, foot, whatever that shit's called, is no joke.
Oh, yeah.
So what does Max have?
It's called Fifth disease. It's NBD. It basically is just like when kids get little viruses, it can manifest in a rash. So it's a rash on his cheeks, but it's literally big red cheeks. Don't worry, we're 2 weeks out. Everything's fine. I can't pass it to you guys.
No, you're good. You're good. I just,
Red cheeks. I don't look good with red cheeks.
I'm not good with red cheeks.
No, I end up looking like Rosie O'Donnell. Like when my cheeks get too red, I look like Taylor Stricker. Like it just,
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
like
it's-
You know,
That's
I'm just black. So I stay this like,
Just gorgeous color.
you know what I mean? Like,
Gorgeous.
and sometimes like, is this like a PG-13 type
No,
thing?
This is a rated
go
R.
on.
This is rated R.
It's so funny because like, growing up in Louisiana, I was a church girl for a long time, and then moving to West Hollywood in Los Angeles, like, all you white men are kinky. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
y'all are some kinky ass people.
Sure.
So, I had to warn, these, I date outside my race all the time. So I'm like, listen, you can't choke me like you be choking everybody else, because once he turns red, you release the grip. Like, don't wait till I'm blue.
Yeah.
Because if I get to blue, we're too late.
That's a public service announcement.
Yeah, you better call Mariska Hargitay, because like, you just assaulted me right here, okay? Like, this is not a good thing. But I like being black.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? It
Tell
seems
us more
awesome.
about
I love being black.
Tell us more
Because
about
Black
that.
History Month
Cut
coming
that.
back. I love being black.
Being black seems awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. It's so awesome.
Title Marshall.
Yeah, that'll be the People headline tomorrow. Josh Peck. Being black seems awesome.
It really is.
My friend Gregory is from Louisiana, and he said that during the summer, there are termite swarms where lights will become engulfed in swarms of termites. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Is this fake news?
No, that's real.
Really?
It's locusts.
Locusts.
Also, in the summer in Louisiana.
biblical, bro.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
It's wild.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Hero Bread. You guys already know how much we love Hero Bread, because Hero Bread is an incredible option if you're trying to stay lean but still have that unbelievably fluffy, perfect texture, perfect for grilled cheese, a little tuna, turkey sandwich. Hero Bread is it. And Hero Bread has 0 to 1 grams of net carbs. Like, how can you beat that? 0 to 1 grams of net carbs. And I promise you, this bread tastes delicious. It's so soft. Normally when you get bread that's 0 to 1 grams of net carbs, you're thinking to yourself, this thing is going to taste like styrofoam. It doesn't. It's so soft. It's so delicious. We absolutely love it here at The Good Guys. 0 sugar and is high in fiber. Now, it's made with heart-healthy olive oil for an added boost of healthy fats as well. Hero Bread products are delicious and flavorful, offering the soft, fluffy experience that you love when enjoying a refreshing BLT, a savory breakfast burrito, maybe a mouth-watering cheeseburger, who knows, vegan cheese for the kosher folks. My favorite Hero Bread product is just their regular white bread. It literally tastes like the traditional white bread that you remember going into the grocery store, getting and making that perfect grilled cheese. So, folks, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order of their new recipe. Again, this new recipe with olive oil, it is chef's kiss and obviously healthier for you. Go to hero.co and use code GoodGuys24 at checkout. That's GOODGUIS24 at HERO.co.
The Good Guys podcast loves Harry's because the shaving industry is a fraud. We know that. And it was time for them to be disrupted because we've been overpaying. Okay. We've been overpaying for shaving cartridges, and then it just, you get stuck and there's really no alternative. But now there is with Harry's. Look, Harry's they have these beautiful products. They get delivered to your house. You're going to get refills like these great 5-blade razor cartridges for as low as $2, half of what you would pay for other big brands. It has a weighted handle. I got this set. It was the 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for just $3. And you can too at harrys.com/goodguys. Harry's has got plenty of stuff, whether it's amazing smelling deodorant for only $5. And the truth is there's no risk. I know you get worried. I know you don't like to give your credit card. Listen. With Harry's, there's no risk, okay? So you don't like the shave, no worries. It's on them. And they have the highest customer satisfaction in the shaving industry. But most importantly, the shave is glorious. The quality of the shave, you're not going to be going over the same spot 5 times. Those 5 blades, if blade 1, 2, and 3 don't get it, 4 and 5 going to get it. You know what I'm saying? These blades got backup. So do it. I'm telling you, I have sensitive skin and I've never had a better shave. I'm not kidding. Don't settle for the status quo. Blaze your own trail with Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/goodguys. That's harrys.com/goodguys for a $3 trial set.
Also in the summer in Louisiana, the last day of school, I remember like 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, what they would do is they would have a seminar. Like there was a fair. But in order to get in the fair, you had to take this heat preparedness 5-minute course. And there was like a dummy on the ground, and they would say, okay, if your friend passes out from heat stroke, grab the hose and hose them down and flip them and hose them and flip them and hose them. And the amount of times I had to use that technique, because you don't realize like 105 degrees with 100% humidity.
Right.
Like,
Oh my God.
you're doing 69 with the devil at that point.
Yes.
Like, it is hot.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yes.
So growing up in the South, like when a heat wave hits LA and everyone like, it's 94 record temps. I'm like, 94, bitch. That's a midsummer's night dream for me.
Wow, 69 with the devil. I almost think like reverse cowgirl with the devil.
Because you know what? The breath wouldn't be, the heat wouldn't be coming this way. You know what I mean? No. In the summer, in July, man, you have never in your life felt anything like it. I had a girlfriend who was like, I'm going to film a movie. Like, I'm up for a role. And it films in Louisiana. I'm like, oh my God, girl, New Orleans? Ooh, these dudes are about to be all over you.
Yes.
She was like, yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to wear that. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to be like Diane Lane and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah, where you living? She was like, oh, I'm living in the French Quarter. I'm like, oh my God, when do you leave? She was like, July 1st. I was like, so what you're going to do is you're going to call your agent and you're going to back out of this goddamn film. Because first of all, you're going to sweat your ass off. You won't leave the house. And you will never look the way you think you're going to look.
It's that hot.
It's that humid.
Damn.
It's crazy.
And the problem is, too, with movies, like I've worked on things where I was once doing this movie in Canada where we couldn't wear clothes to accommodate the weather. Because otherwise, you would be like in North Face parkas the whole time. So they're like, no, you need to look cute. We need to like triple layer you, and we'll put a thermal and a flannel. I'm like, babe, I need high-tech fibers. I need that Gore-Tex. And they're like, no, you have to look normal. And so literally, I'm looking at the crew who look like they're on the top of Everest, and I'm in like a thin members-only jacket. And I'm like, end me now. Kill me now.
I love a rich white man. I need Gore-Tex. I need that fiber.
I need that fiber.
Get me that North Face. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, give me that wool.
You got money. Oh, that Disney, that Nickelodeon money's coming through.
That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
Do you
What
know,
Nickelodeon
do you
money?
know?
What?
There's no money.
There's not no money?
There's no residuals on kids' TV.
What?
Fun fact.
He was fucked.
I'm over
What?
it. Oh, yeah.
No.
It's fine. They only robbed me of my childhood.
Did your parents rob you?
No.
Okay, at least you have that.
Because I only had one parent, so it was like a 50-50 chance, and she turned out to be great.
Oh my God, at least you have that.
Shout out, Barb. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, Barb, because, I talk to a lot of people, especially child actors, who a lot of them have that story of their parents, kind of sort of robbing them before that whole law came into effect, and even figuring out ways to get around that law. And I don't know. I mean, my mom locked me in a house a few times to go to the club, which, I got over, but not really.
Yes.
I couldn't imagine having to move on with my life knowing that she stole millions from me. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, it would be over.
I'm still holding on to the fact that on my 11th birthday, my mom asked me what kind of birthday party I wanted, and I said a Young and the Restless birthday party.
Wow.
That's true tea. And she made me have a Cowboys and Indians party, and that shit still comes up in therapy. So I could only imagine what $500,000 would have done to my relationship.
My friend, for his 13th birthday party, his bar mitzvah, had a Bette Midler themed bar mitzvah, and then he proceeds to tell me, and then he came out at 24. I said, no, you came out at 13.
You came out at 13.
I can't even imagine how fun that bar mitzvah was.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Beaches themed?
But bar mitzvahs are already amazing, but plus a coming out party.
Yes.
Just fantastic. And now that I'm thinking about bar mitzvahs, my mom, parents, best people in the world.
Yeah.
That said, where is my bar mitzvah money?
Where is that bar mitzvah money?
Where is it?
Where is that bar mitzvah money?
I got checks.
You got made off.
Ooh.
I got checks, and I'm just saying, I don't have them.
You don't have them. Damn.
No.
ID presents.
I don't have them.
I didn't know about this bar mitzvah thing until I moved to LA. And honestly, I worked for some of the nicest Jewish people ever. I worked for Kyle Richards for 5 years.
Did you? No.
She's a Jew. Yes.
Stop it.
Umansky's Jewish.
The Hiltons are Jewish?
No.
Not the Hiltons. The Umanskys are Jewish.
But her sister is
Yes.
correct. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way, cheap practices. Like there is temple,
Baruch
there is
Hashem.
Rosh Hashanah, please get out the house. We have like people coming over for, Shabbat. Like I learned about everything. Although I thought a latke was a latte with vodka when I first started, but we're not going to talk about that. But the money people shell out for bar mitzvahs in LA, like I'm embarrassed to invite anyone to my wedding.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. No.
And it's moms outdoing moms. That's all. It's like a competition, like who can outdo who.
Yeah.
And themes.
And themes.
Yeah. My theme was the Knicks. Claudia's was Color Me Cloudy. So it was all like colors. And Claudia's was Claudia's was basically like that.
Oh, wow. She had a bougie one.
Country club. We just rewatched the video in Utah.
How much? How much money?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know.
Ballpark.
I don't
Over
know.
50?
Probably.
Oh, 100.
Wow.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
was in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
right?
I don't know how much, but definitely some good dough was spent at the country club. Bougie affair. And I hope she got her checks. Like, I don't know.
Oh, damn, your mom really did you dirty.
Yeah, even though, and by the way, she listens to every episode. I love you.
I love you,
I
Mom.
love you. And by the way, keep it. Keep the money. But where'd it go?
Mine was $12,000, and it was at an Italian restaurant, the reception and the ceremony, because we were going to not move.
At
in the
Buca de
middle.
Beppo?
Close. Buca de Beppo adjacent. And my mom and I did a 45-minute show mid-bar mitzvah.
Wow.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
What do you mean a 45-minute show?
Oh, my God. We started with something familiar, something peculiar.
Wait, I'm going to
something
take my jacket
for
off real quick.
everyone, a
Wait, hold
comedy
on.
Yeah, it was awful.
You became a man by singing 45 minutes of show tunes with your mom.
Dude, she sang You're My Best Boy in front of all my homies. It was damaging.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Nutrafol. I absolutely love Nutrafol. Look, folks, we're in our 30s. It is what it is. The young kids listening to the podcast, you'll see. Your hair is going to thin, and you're going to need a product like Nutrafol. Like all of us, we're all the same. We all need products like this, and I absolutely love it. And honestly, hair is everything to me. Hair is everything. I have an egghead. This hair goes away, folks. We're in deep, deep trouble. Hair thinning is complicated. The problem is it's actually much bigger than your hair alone. Like your skin, hair is a reflection of your health, and internal factors can impact the way your hair looks, feels, and grows. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. Everyone's root cause of hair thinning are different, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't necessarily cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow throughout different stages, such as postpartum and menopause, as well as different lifestyles, such as plant-based diets like Marshall. Nutrafol supplements support healthy hair growth from within by targeting root causes of thinning, including stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism. So take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair like me. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code GOODGUYS. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and hairstylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code GOODGUYS. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GOODGUYS.
Listen. Look, I've been to weddings. I used to plan weddings.
You did?
Yeah, I started as a wedding planner when I was like 14 years old. I worked with this wedding planner. I literally devoted every weekend of my life to her from 14 until 19. And I did some of the most fabulous weddings in Louisiana. And one time I did this wedding. And how I got the name the lady sitter was I would always be with the brides and the bridesmaids. That was my job. I would make sure they were in hair and makeup, make sure that they were all taken care of, making sure they were in the place where they needed to be. That was my jam.
Just don't hit this.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. And, one time I went into the room to check on the mother of the groom, actually. And she had on a dress. And I said, "Is that the dress you're wearing for the wedding?"
Oh.
And she said, "Yeah, that's the dress I'm wearing for the wedding." I was like, "You're wearing a wedding dress." And she said, "I don't care. This is my day.
Oh my God.
And I said, I want to see I'm going to walk you to your daughter-in-law. I'm going to see I'm going to walk you to your daughter-in-law. I'm going to escort you, make sure you make it there safe because you're not coming back in one piece. And I walked her up to the daughter-in-law, and the wedding held for 35 minutes until she put on the dress that she was supposed to wear. It was the most epic throwdown I have ever seen in a church in my life.
What is wrong with people? It's crazy. I can't even begin to go through her thought process of buying that dress, wearing that dress, having the gall to look you in the face that it was her day.
Right?
It's crazy.
And the worst part was that she looked hot. She looked so hot in the dress, which was gonna freak everybody out. It was just terrible. Oh, it was the highlight of my life, though. It really was.
I was gonna ask how you got the lady sitter name, so now it makes sense.
That's what it was. I was the lady sitter at weddings.
Wow.
So how do you go from wedding planner, nanny, now Hollywood host, coolest guy on television?
Okay, so follow me. You might need a diagram.
I'm ready.
Lady sitting at weddings. Ran into this woman named Allie Landry, who was a model / actress.
Sure.
She was like the first Doritos girl.
Varsity Blues?
No, she was. Remember, she was she was on this show called Eve. But you remember back in the day when the thing would open and the Doritos would fly out and the girl would hit the splits and catch the Doritos?
Yes.
That was her. She was from my hometown. She was in one of the weddings that I did, actually 2. Invited me to live with her in LA, was like, oh, I have this friend who needs an assistant, come today. And I was like, I'm not sure. She was like, no, come today. You'll love her. Started working for Kyle Richards. Wow. Worked for Kyle Richards for 5 years. Thought I was going to get into management. So I kind of sort of hooked these kids up, with a kind of like a meeting with this producer, and then 6 months later, Rich Kids of Beverly Hills was on air on E! Produced that for 2 seasons.
Wow.
Went to EJNYC in New York, and I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. On the plane ride back, I had this thought process that, hey, I'm 29, I'm turning 30 in November. This is 6 months. Maybe I should try for this on-screen thing. I wanted it, but I just never thought it was possible. But let me see if I can get the hosting job, a small one. And if not, I'm going to just get a job with a 401k and health insurance. So when I landed, I started making phone calls, trying to figure it out. I got Daily Pop the day before my 30th birthday.
Wow.
November 7th.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
And you did Daily Pop for 5 years?
5 years at 5:30 in the morning.
So walk us through that, because I'm fascinated with daily entertainment shows, because it's like a news show kind of, but more pop.
Yeah.
What's that schedule? So you're in studio at 5:30 every day?
So my show came on at 8 first. So I had my first meeting was at 5:30. Then I would get into hair and makeup by 6:15, 6:30. Research, from 6:30 to 7:45. I was on set, ready to go. 8 to 9, it was bumping. Then the corporate America kicks in. They want you to stay there for another 4 hours.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Which is crazy. Oh, it was crazy.
For what?
Just to sit, to chill.
Just for bullshit.
To say you were there for 8 hours. But it was really, really fun and interesting. As much as, at 30 years old, you don't want to be up at 5:30 in the morning or have to wake up before the sun comes up. Every day knowing you were going to talk about a different thing and meet really cool people, we had you on the show for so many times, was kind of amazing. It was rewarding. It was phenomenal. It was the greatest, kind of master's class, because I learned from a lot of people. I had Kat Sadler, who was there way before me, who kind of taught me everything. And then Lonnie Love came on, had Lonnie Love on the show for almost 8 months. That was like a master's class in comedic timing. And it was just a really cool experience.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Drizly. Now, I know, folks, dry January, I get it. Everyone gets it. Personally, I don't participate in dry January. That said, I absolutely respect it, as does Drizly. If you go on the Drizly app, you can shop so many non-alcoholic items or low-alcoholic items. Sprit Society, 6%. 6% is nothing. It's basically dry. But if you're looking for non-alcoholic items, Drizly has you covered for dry January. Is January looking dry? Get some lotion. Get a humidifier, and better yet, get Drizly, the on-the-go app for drink delivery. With Drizly, you can compare prices across local stores and get your best price on a huge selection of drinks, perfect for dry January every single time. Maybe some non-alcoholic wines if that's your thing. Have a look. Ready-to-made mocktails? Grab a straw and order up, folks. Or again, Spritz Society, low ABV, 6%. You never know. You never know. Those seltzers, really good. Dry January, damp January, dry or damp. I absolutely love Drizly just because of how convenient it is. You want something? Go on the app, look at all of their items, alcohol, non-alcohol, whatever you want, compare those prices, get the best price, and then order it. And all of a sudden it's at your door. It's that freaking easy, folks. It is that freaking easy. So download the Drizly app or go to drizly.com, the go-to app for alcohol delivery. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
You know, on the Good Guys podcast, we have a segment called What Are You Nuts? And the truth is, I'm nuts in a funny way, but kind of in a serious way. And I have benefited from having a place where I can go talk to a professional, talk about what's going on with me, my mental health, the things that I'm going through. And that's why I'm so excited to be working with Cerebral. Cerebral is here to help you achieve your mental wellness goals with professional therapy and medication management support. It's 100% online. You'll experience the all-new Cerebral way, an innovative approach to mental wellness designed around you. You'll get a personalized treatment plan from a therapist, prescriber, or both in a safe and judgment-free space. Whether you're going through anxiety, depression, you know, when I have challenges, it tends to lean more to kind of a bit of the depressive stuff. And the truth is, I worked with a person, a psychologist for many years, and it was super helpful. And then inevitably, I found that, you know, I needed to explore possibly taking a medication. And it's great with Cerebral that both those options are available to you and they make it incredibly easy. So I think something like Cerebral can help you with your individual goals for the year and to know, most importantly, you're not alone. They will craft a treatment plan for you that's tailored to your individual goals, and you don't have to worry about finding the right provider or scheduling appointments because Cerebral brings it all to you whenever and wherever you need it. And if you feel like you're not making progress with your therapist or prescriber, just switch to a new one at any time. To get started on your path towards better mental health, Cerebral is giving our listeners 15% off their first month of online therapy, medication, or both. Get started at Cerebral.com/podcast and use code GOODGUYS. That's Cerebral, CEREBRAL.com/podcast and use code GOODGUYS to get 15% off your first month. Make 2024 your best year yet. Offer only valid on monthly plans. Other exclusions may apply. See site for details. And how do you contend with, because you hear this from talk show people a lot, which is like, sometimes you're getting guests that you're so excited to chat with, and sometimes you're getting real drips, real people you don't want to talk to, you're not, and you have to feign interest, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I love a drip.
Why?
I like a drip.
So what?
Because you get to talk more?
No, not because I get to talk more. Because I love
Just
when
sit and look pretty.
Right? No, I love when a publicist comes up to me after and said, wow, you really got a lot out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing before my show, I always did this. You know, there was 3 people on the show. You know, the girls were always in hair and makeup, trying to get their outfits right. I didn't care about that kind of stuff. I would always spend 15 minutes in a dressing room just talking to whoever was on the show that day because obviously they made it. You know, you're on this show. They booked you on E.
Right.
And it was normally people I admired.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it was normally people I admired. And I always sat with them for 15 minutes just shooting the shit. Talking about Law and Order. I remember that episode of Law and Order you were on 30 years ago? Like,
right.
And I love that moment connecting with people. So when someone came out as a guest, the first 90 seconds is you trying to connect with that person, which is why it feels so dry. But we already did that in the first 15 minutes.
Yes.
We have inside jokes now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I really did. So I love the drip because I always got them to drop. You know what I mean? It was a drip drop.
I got the drip to drop.
I got the drip to drop.
Did we just come up with that now, or is that a phrase?
No, I just came up with
Wow,
that.
Jason.
Don't tell Cardi B.
That could be the name of your book, Getting the Drip to Drop.
Getting the drip to
Ooh.
drop.
Wow. Not
That's
terrible.
Good. No, it's good.
It's not terrible. And you do a lot of red carpets as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the art of that?
Oh, Red carpets are really tough.
I bet. Do you want to put publicists in headlocks?
No.
Why do they all? It was so funny. I did an award show the other day where I was presenting, and I'm standing at the valet after, and I just see this nice woman waiting for her car, and I go, "You have a client here tonight?" And she's like, "You can tell I'm a publicist." I'm like,
Yeah, totally.
you all have a uniform and an air about you, and some of them are brilliant, and many of them are just like they're mini bodyguards for clients.
100%.
Right?
And by the way, a lot of them are just looking ahead. And I respect that. They're looking ahead and trying to do the least amount of work possible.
Smart.
I had a publicist come up to me one time at a junket, and it's like this huge junket. And when you're a reporter in your first few years, you know, your producer gives you a list of questions. Like, don't come home unless you get these, basically. And I sat down, and the publicist comes in, and when I say A-list, I mean fucking A-list. And our publicist comes in, and she goes, don't ask her about the divorce, don't ask her about her personal life, don't ask her about her kids, and don't ask her about this. And I was like,
Yes. What's left?
let me just go ahead and tear this up.
Yeah.
And like, she's coming in 30 seconds.
Oh, man.
Everyone's like fussing around her. She sits down, and keep in mind, she's one of the hottest women in the world. Very intimidating, but I'm obsessed with her. And
Oprah, it's Oprah.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get game on. Let's see what's going on. And she sits down, and I say, well, how the fuck are you? Verbatim. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Keep in mind, I'm like, literally, this is like year 2 into my career. And she goes, well, you can't read. I'm getting a divorce. My kids are growing up.
Wow.
Like, I'm going through this thing, and I'm going through this. And I look at the publicist, and my eye was like, game on, bitch. I had the greatest interview of my life with this person. We have the strongest connection that even today, 7 years later, when I see her, she always gives me a look like, how are you?
Wow.
Because that moment, and by the way, she's met 100 people. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because hundreds of people. And it's so crazy because a lot of times the celebrity doesn't really mind going there. It's kind of sort of the publicist to like, you know,
100%.
they're just trying to do their job. And I respect that so much because being the gatekeeper to somebody that big has got to be tough. I mean, I tried calling you 4 times. Your publicist told me to hang the goddamn phone
What
out.
the hell?
Yeah.
My publicist won't call me.
I didn't even know you had a publicist.
I took, yeah, right. I take them off payroll real quick.
Right?
Yeah, they weren't funneling anything to you.
But do they, and it's the fear that if you don't do what the publicist says, then you are like kind of blacklisted
Oh,
going
for sure.
forward.
No, they'll hold clients from you, like, you know what I mean? But
So you have to kind of listen.
yeah, but you know, I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind. I never want to be the gotcha person. I never want to be the person who like is that way with anyone because I know those kind of people. I want you to know that as a journalist and as a host, I'm never trying to get I'm never trying to get the headline. I will never ever go back to E and say, this is the headline.
Sure.
Clip this. But I get it. A lot of times people have been caught in the honey trap.
And what are celebrities doing wrong? Like, what do you observe in famous people or people you're interviewing where you're like, you don't have to do that, babe. You're making it hard on yourself.
Where they're tiptoeing, they're scared. And I get it. I get it. Everybody's taking things out of proportion. Everything's, you know, everyone's taking things, you know, to the next level. I truly wish what we went back to was like inside the actor's studio where you can sit down with somebody for 20, 30 minutes and have a full conversation. Like a full conversation. Because trying to get someone to express something in 4 minutes, you know, on a carpet or on a junket is hard. So I understand. You're trying to just make sure that you are so on point that no one can misconstrue anything. And the only person who can really do that really is Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is
Bulletproof.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
Bulletproof. You will ask him a question and he will answer another one.
Yes.
And you'll be like, damn, that's the greatest answer I ever got.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how I was listening to, Kara Swisher. She's like a famous tech reporter, but she's interviewed everyone, Elon. And she's like, the hardest thing, she was talking about interviewing Obama. And she told this story on the podcast. She said is that it's using your time intelligently because politicians speak in paragraphs because they want to control the time. And they know
100%.
You have a hard 20 minutes. And so if I can turn what would be 10 questions into 3, I win. And she told this story on her podcast, so I can tell it, where she said to President Obama when he sat down, because they already cut her time. They were like, it was supposed to be 40, then they made it 20.
Yeah.
And she said, listen, you talk in paragraphs. She's like, I'm going to be butting in a lot. And he looked at her and said, I heard you were obnoxious. I was like, I respect both of them for that exchange.
God, yes. Yeah. No, you have to sometimes just being upfront. And I often say to people hey, is there anything you want to promote, some, side shit, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh my God, ask me about my ferret clothing line. I'm like, yeah. That's
I love chinchilla.
What? You make clothes for ferrets? You just gotta because a lot of times people have all these side projects that their publicists, the studio doesn't want them to talk about. But you know what? I'll talk about your new single. I don't give a shit. I want you to feel comfortable and feel like you're getting something out of this, and I'm gonna give it play. And I always fought for people to get that extra play. I know you're here for Oppenheimer, but you know what? If you got gastro issues and Tums is paying your ass, let's go.
Thank you. Shout out Play-Doh, because we did something for Play-Doh together recently.
Yes.
Had a nice little brand deal. They were like, we'd love for you to publicize on the show. I said, Justin's my man, as they say. Wow. Let's do it.
And I'm here for it. And by the way, I sometimes get side gigs because of my enthusiasm for people. And I get it. It's a job. I understand, it's a grind. And I respect that.
Yeah.
So you know what? When you come with Charmin, I don't even care if it's Vagisil. I'd be like, yeah, that Vagisil's the shit.
Yes.
I brought you both Little Caesars. I just realized. Do you remember that campaign? That
for
first
Cerebral?
campaign ever?
Yeah.
Yes. That was both of you.
Thank you for that.
From me.
Thank you.
Thank you for the money.
You brought me.
Just
Joy, bitch.
It's so true friendship. Just so good. So good.
So gorgeous.
So
should we get into our What Are You Nuts moment?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we should. Do you know what this is?
No, what is it?
Okay, so we do this every week. People, places, things, gripes that you have with humanity. Things that make you say, what are you nuts?
Oh, tell me. What are you nuts?
I mean, I told my real what are you nuts earlier, which was the changing of the bags with Claudia. But I'll dive deeper into JetBlue, and I'll call them by name.
Ooh.
Wow. Flights take off it's 30 minutes apart. Claudia's flight is at 5 o'clock, mine's at 5:30. I realized the second she got on the plane, and she, boards immediately.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
She is 111. There's a woman in a wheelchair ready to board. She kicks her in the face and boards first.
Active military.
Active military, disability, fake scoliosis, anything. She is boarding first. So she's on the plane.
Move aside,
She
officer.
served 2 tours in Iraq.
How many tours did you do?
General Claudia Oshry here.
She boards first. And so I realized that I had her bag the second she got on the plane, but there are still 99% of the cabin to board. The plane has not left.
No.
The door has not closed.
No.
This is a salvageable, solvable situation. So I went up to the gate agent. First I called Claudia. I'm like, bitch, give me my bag.
Yeah.
Let's find a way to do this. Then I went up to the gate agent and I'm like, you need to find a way for me to switch our bags. It's right there. I see the plane. I'm holding my bag. She's holding hers. The general consensus was that if her bag were to be removed from the plane, she would need to be removed from the plane, re-go back through TSA, and then come back on the plane.
Doable, though.
No, not doable.
Not doable.
No. Claudia's already taken an Ambien.
No, it's not happening.
Claudia's already passed out.
Not happening. But even if she, not happening. It's just there wasn't enough time, not possible. And I'm sorry. What are you, nuts? We both went through security. This was already checked. Both bags were already screened. Her leaving the plane with the bag that was already checked to go and recheck it, it just doesn't make any sense. They could have given me my bag. They should have given me my bag. And JetBlue, just send me a credit, $100.
By the way, you know what? Don't send this man $100.
By the way, 1 second. I spent all that money at Nordstrom Rack because they kept my bag hostage. Oh, I'll send you the receipts.
Oh, there you go.
I'll send you the receipts.
There you go.
I should get $2,000.
Yeah.
$2,000, is that right?
Don't just leave
By the
out
way,
the
I didn't
rack
go to Nordstrom
part.
Rack. I went to Versace.
Leave out the rack.
By the way, I'm like, damn, you must have bought the whole Nordstrom rack for
Yeah,
$2. You took the whole rack.
The whole rack.
The whole rack.
What are you nuts?
What are you nuts?
Okay, so my what are you nuts moment is I have issues with Uber. We were talking about this earlier.
Terrible.
I just don't get it. I was being driven. So first, me and this driver were connecting. She's lovely. I see that in the back pocket of the seat in front of me is a literal throw-up bag. I said to the woman, very smart. You are Friday night. You get some ragamuffin, some miscontent, some wild drunkard who needs to throw up in your car. Boom, get the bag. You're smart. You're smart, girl. She goes, thank you so much. I also do it because these Teslas sometimes make people a little sick. And as she says that, she hits the brake so hard. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. You're right. And then she proceeds to get on the phone. She's on the phone, and this is what kills me with Uber. It's like, if you're going to be on the phone, what do you want from me? I'm not going to give you 5 stars. I did. She has my address. But we're driving, and she's like kind of trying to be, she's flirting with a guy. And all I'm hearing is this from the front seat. You're dumb.
Oh, she's about to get it.
Yeah, dude. I was like, you're stupid. So meet me at the charging station.
She is about to get it from another eco-conscious daddy.
I was like, someone else getting a tax incentive for their energy, for their electrical car. I was like, what are you, nuts? Like, I am your passenger, ma'am.
Oh
Nuts,
my
nuts,
God.
Nuts.
Do you know that one time I was in a taxi cab in New York, and this taxi cab driver is not handsome at all. Not cute, but like, swaggy, like where you're going, like, real, like, I'm like, ooh, okay. Ooh, I was like, oh, I'm going uptown. He is on the phone with someone. My friend who gets in the car is one of my best friends, is Middle Eastern, but doesn't look Middle Eastern, which is kind of sort of like a drag. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're from like Azerbaijan and Dubai, like half and half, Turkey and Azerbaijan, like you should like look like, you know what I mean? Like you should, come on.
Sure.
He looks white.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm like, damn. And he gets all upset every now and then because he doesn't like tan, So he gets in the car. This man is on the phone with somebody who has this very, very sexy voice. And she is talking to him, and he's like, yeah, like talking back, and they're going back and forth, and Farsi, it's like this whole thing. And my friend is texting me under the thing and is translating what is happening on this phone call. And this man is basically on a sex call, like one of those 1-800 numbers, thinking that we don't understand what's going on because my friend looks like he's from North Dakota.
Wow. What a superpower.
Yeah. Oh, that 25-minute car ride was so exciting. So exciting.
That's a movie, Middle Eastern white.
Well, no, then I got on Google. Then I got on Google Translator because I wanted to know. Like, I got on that translating app, so I'd like put it on and put it right by the thing.
You can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
You can do voice to translate.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Wow,
It's phenomenal.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I know.
Wow. So is that, do you have a what are you nuts moment?
Oh, I do have a what are you nuts moment.
Oh, can't wait.
My what are you nuts moment is, why did Niecy Nash finally get a Emmy? She should have had that years ago. She should have had an Emmy years ago, people.
She's very talented.
Like, she's a very talented person. Very talented. All about her craft. But I'm so happy she got Dahmer because it showed another side of her. But these producers and directors, this woman is the one. Like, you guys should have been putting her in stuff like this
Reno 911?
years ago.
Genius.
Genius.
She's genius in it. It's a genius show.
But here's the problem, and you probably know this better than anybody else. When you're in a cult classic or something that's such a huge success, I feel like in Hollywood, a lot of times people have a hard time seeing you as something different. So it takes you a little bit longer to get to the place where, okay, you can do drama now, or you could do this, or you could do that. That's why I feel like a lot of people, like, think about like the 90210 people. They had to like go and do like, showgirls. Like, I'm going to show my titties so that people know that I can goddamn act. You know what I mean?
Speaking of 90210, what about Ian Ziering getting in a fight on Hollywood Boulevard? Thoughts? Are you not allowed to comment?
No, I'm going to comment. I would have stayed in my car.
You would have stayed in your car like a smart man?
I mean, like 5 against 1, but I guess when you're at that moment, you know what I mean? You know when people say there was a breaking point? You know what I'm talking about? Like people say, oh, I just was at a breaking point. Like there was stuff going on. I probably would have stayed in the car knowing that it's called a biker gang for a reason.
They were on mopeds. Okay, first of all, they're on scooters. She got in a scooter fight with a scooter gang. Secondly, they fucked your car up. Your kid's in the car, and you got beat up by mathletes, dog. They were 14. Like,
Bro.
This is a bad look.
Bro, I know. I've met people, I know people who have gotten out of character over some road rage shit. And I can't, personally, I'm listening to Barbra Streisand on audiobook.
Good for you.
Like, I'm not in my car, like, thinking or yelling. Like, if you see a Mercedes going slow, it's because I'm on chapter 4 and I'm trying to hear about when Barbara got her first singing job. Like, I'm calm, cool, and collected.
Justin's like, we're on Yentl.
Yeah, I'm like, get out of here. And I have it on like 0.9, so it's going a little slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's talking to me like Delilah. So I don't know where that mindset is, but damn, he really got it that day.
But I know what you mean. I find, and the way I've made my peace with it, is just people marry themselves to the image that they first fall in love with. So with Niecy, it's like you see her on Reno 911 and you just go, it's so easy to fall in love. Or me on Drake and Josh, or even like, you think of Steve Carell, like he's one of our great actors, but for many people, he'll be Michael Scott forever because that show means so much to people.
Oh, 100%. But you know what? Michael Scott's still getting them goddamn residuals. So I'm like, you know what? I'll be that all day. But, you know, I look at people like Miley Cyrus. They're like, oh, my God, she did this and it was so crazy. But to get out of that Mickey Mouse thing, she had to ride a fucking wrecking ball with her coochie
It's
right
so
on the
true.
concrete.
I never even thought about that. Like, if she didn't go kind of crazy, she'd be stuck.
She'd be stuck.
And she's so famous because she went kind of crazy.
They all had to do it. Christina Aguilera had to do it. Justin Timberlake had to do it. You know, Britney had to get in that diamond encrusted thong and shake that ass in front of everybody. It's like you just have to do those things. And actors do it too. Like, not just the young ones, but like to show that they can do something wild. Sometimes they go a little too far, but you know, I respect it. I respect it.
Wow. What do I do?
You're an Oppenheimer. You did it.
You did it.
You don't realize it. I said this to you. I texted
Thanks,
Josh
guys.
that night. I'm like,
Is that not that? That's his out.
That's all right.
That's,
I got 2 minutes.
That's Justin's
And especially because I'm
publicist.
getting into it because it's meant to be emotional. I texted Josh literally that night, and I was like, "You are now an actor in a movie of the year Golden Globes. Like it's it. That's it.
But also Oscar.
That's it. Yeah.
It's gonna be Oscar.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in an Oscar winning movie as an
God bless you.
Oscar.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
big shit.
No, it's huge.
You guys want to see
It's
it?
huge.
You guys want to see it?
This is crazy.
Shake your hand.
It's
No,
huge.
no.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Thank you.
And God willing, next Nolan movie, more stuff. It's just you did it already. You don't have to do anything. That's it. If you want to do something crazy, I'm down.
Let me ask you a question.
What do you want to do?
Is Chris Nolan like Ryan Murphy, where he just keeps on putting you in shit?
He's done 6 movies with Killian.
Fingers crossed.
You know what I mean? Like maybe
knows?
that is your jam. I'm dying to be in a Ryan Murphy.
I feel like the two of you, that's kismet.
No, I'm
I
just
think
dying.
Justin needs to host. Like, I think you would be such a great Oscars host. Like,
No,
so
no.
good.
That
You
job
would.
is thankless.
I know.
It is.
That job is thankless.
I know. but
I'd
you'd
rather
be-
raise
but you'd
Josh.
be
I'd
so
rather
good.
raise his kids during flu season than have an Oscars. You know what I mean?
But you'd be so good at it.
No, you know what I'd be really good at?
What?
I swear I'd be really fucking good at it. Dating a man with a tail number. If I can find a billionaire out there,
Yes.
that would be my best supporting actress.
Would you give it all up for like a nice, like a PJ owning, like a young Epstein? Hear me out.
Have you met Brian Kelly? Have you met Brian Kelly?
That could be
Yeah,
good.
but you know what? Brian Kelly lives in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, on the most unbelievably gorgeous farm. You could ride horses for life.
I
and
know.
Have you met Brian fucking
I've
Kelly?
met Brian Kelly, and Brian Kelly's cute.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly is really cute. I got a few more things to do before I can get to Brian Kelly.
Yeah, but like this is a good
close.
match.
You're
You know what though?
He is the cutest son though. So wait 5 years.
But doesn't he have a
because
boo?
He's too young. No,
Because I was in Mykonos
no,
this summer.
he does not.
Because I was in Mykonos this summer and I crossed.
He had a boo.
Okay.
No boo.
I see
Boo
you
gone.
in Mykonos with espadrilles on, just the arm candy to some billionaire, some young
But-
Bezos energy. I love it.
And by the way, I'm going to go on record and say this. And if anyone knows her, y'all tag that bitch. Lauren Sanchez, first of all,
Legend.
legend. Legend. Okay?
Legend.
Yes.
And I know she's tearing those sheets up. Okay? I know Jeff Bezos looks at that woman like she is a fucking porterhouse steak. Like, she is hot. She's one of the boys. She can talk sports. She could talk helicopters. Like, she is doing all the things. I will say this. For people who think that she does not work, being with a billionaire is a full-time job. Filtering people, entertaining people, going to all these things, having to know what everyone's doing and what they're up to and keeping up with things. You're basically somebody's right-hand man when you're at that level of money. So hats off to her. She bagged it.
She bagged it.
She bagged it. She did it. And she's keeping it.
Yeah.
She got a ring. She got a fucking boat.
She double bagged it.
She
Strong
double bagged it.
handles.
She has one of those. She ain't with that Erewhon, plastic bag. She with the Balenciaga. We made it for, $1,500 bag. Like,
Yeah,
she did
canvas.
it. That IKEA bag.
She walks into Nordstrom rack and buys the whole rack.
Oh, the building.
She goes into the rack and goes, I've never been to a Goodwill. Justin, thank you for being on the show. We
Thank
love
you.
you.
Oh my God,
So
any billionaires, let me know.
So fun. Anything to plug?
Yes, E-News every night, 11 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. Come through. Follow me on Instagram, Justin A. Sylvester, and hopefully on my own podcast at some point in the near future.
Yeah, we'll
one.
get you one.
What's up, Dear Media?
We'll get you one.
What's up?
5 stars. Justin's 5 stars. If you don't rate this show 5 stars, what are you, nuts?
Right?
What are you, nuts?
You'll be my what am I? And by the way, go watch Oppenheimer. It is, by the way, it's not one of those 3-hour movies where you're like, damn, it's a 3-hour movie. You're like, damn, it was a 3-hour movie. That was great.
Yeah,
Thank
freaking
you.
watch Oppenheimer,
Right?
Ben.